and we're going to continue with our Lemoyne Stars. So last week, we got to the point where we got our completed star done, but we need to trim him down. So I wanted to show you how to trim him down. Get some of this out of the way for you. When you trim your star, this one's already been trimmed, but, oh, I don't have my good mat with me, sorry. We're going to put this common diagonal line on the ruler along one diagonal of the star. And then there are diagonal lines going the other direction that's going to go across our star. This one is going to be 4.5 inches. So the common diagonal is going to go through this seam, and the 4.5 inch line is going to go through this seam. It's going to meet in the middle, and you're going to trim on your two sides. Notice that we have a 1/4 inch line here and a 1/4 inch line here. Make sure that your star point tips do not extend into that seam allowance, or you're going to lose your points. So as we line it up, I'm keeping my points, trim, turn him around. This time I'm lining up the 4.5 inch guidelines, square up lines along the bottom and the side. Again, making sure I'm not going to lose those points, and trim. Okay, so that's how we square up our Lemoyne Stars. Today we're going to do a technique sheet that is Lemoynes as triangles. This is the next logical step, in my opinion, going from a regular Lemoyne into some of the variations. So we're going to make Lemoyne Stars just like we have always done. And we're going to make our two sections. And normally we would put them together to form a square. Instead, we're going to flip that around, and we're going to make it into a triangle. This is part of the triangle. So just like doing your regular Lemoyne Stars, you're going to put them together, you're going to nest these seams, sew down your long end, and press open. When you do that, you are going to end up with this little guy. Well, that's a 1/4 triangle, and we could use that, but let's make it a 1/2 triangle. So we're going to do this 2 times. And when you do that, and you put these guys together, let's go this way, you end up with a 1/2 triangle. Kind of cool. All you're doing, remember, is just going from a square to a triangle. Okay? So when you put these together and you get them all sewn, you've got a nice 1/2 triangle. On the back are some variations. You can turn these into basket blocks. You can turn them into bouquets. You can have 2 different 1/2 triangles put together to make a nice Lemoyne. There's another basket variation, okay? Or you can go strictly with a square. And why would you want to use this? If you were making a medallion-centered quilt and you needed something to go in the corners, this would be a good solution. Okay, instead of your regular setting triangles, you know, you could put that up there in the corner of a quilt, have the rest of your blocks here, and you'd have a nice effect. Okay, so I know it's not exactly a square, but that's kind of how it would look if you put it onto put another square or triangle on here to make it into a square. I'll get my words right. So Lemoynes as triangles, I think, are a very good option, something that you might want to give a try. And next week, we are going to go into a little more complicated one. We're going to do banded Lemoynes, and they're So we'll see you next week.